You live?
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order, please, if we could. This is the York County Board of Commissioners, September 30th meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody, to, once again, the September 30th Board of Commissioner meeting. Roll call, please, Mary.
Groats.
Present.
Ott.
Here.
Burgess.
Here.
Bowman.
Here.
And Obermeyer.
Here, open meetings law is posted on the south side of our chambers. It is in the hallway outside of our chambers. It is also on the website. Proof of publication was in the News Times September 25th and also on our website. Next up, we need to review and approve the minutes of our September 16th, 2025 meeting.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
The only question, we do have two sets. Do we need to approve both sets or is it?
That's a good question. Yeah, let's do them separately. So let's do the budget hearing, which there was. Do you have any? Did you have
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I
budget
will-
hearing minutes?
I will move to
Tax
approve the public
request.
hearing minutes.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Burgess.
Yes.
Ott.
Yes.
Groats.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. And then the general meeting for September 16th.
Move to approve the minutes for the general meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other discussion? When ready, Mary, roll call.
Bowman.
Yes.
Groats.
Yes.
Ott.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Good call, Daniel. Adopt today's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Bowman.
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Ott.
Yes.
Groats.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, we will kick it off with officials forum this morning. Morning, Harv.
Good morning, everyone. Harvey Kime, York County Highway Superintendent. Asphalt, they have got Southwest Nobes covered. They got Country Club Avenue covered. They got 25th Street covered. They are working on G right now. They have about 2/3 of the southbound lane left to put on this morning. And then they had one driveway that they had to do some work on. The shouldering crew brought equipment in yesterday, so I'm assuming they are going to get started soon to do that. As soon as they get the shouldering all done, then they can get it planted, and then they can, somewhere in the process, they will come in and get the striping painted onto the road also. So then that will tie that up. They are also supposed to stop out on Road S by the Double Nickel and mill and fill that bump, that little dip that's out there that everybody notices quite well.
Okay.
And they are supposed to do that also because they finally gave me a quote. I told them to just go ahead and do it. We can pay it out of the FFPP money, and that will take care of that one also. Otherwise, we're hauling gravel, blading roads, and we're trying to finish up on Road K where we is cleaning a ditch out so that we can get rock on that one. That's between 4 and 5. And then we will move over on Road 6 and see if we can get a box culvert cleaned out. So that's kind of where the road department is.
So with the asphalt, Harv, then, obviously the weather's been really nice for that. Are they looking at being able to knock it out yet this week as far as getting everything laid down? You said the
asphalt will all be done
right
today,
today. Okay.
but it's going to be the shouldering and the striping. I do not know their exact time frame on that, but it isn't a huge project, so I hope they go fairly quickly.
It looked like they handled it pretty well with the soccer going on at the
Yes.
complex. That was, maybe we should have looked at that a little bit closer. It looked like it handled it pretty well out there.
Right. So, yes,
Okay,
it made it a little challenging.
it always does.
So,
Any questions for Harv this morning? Thank you, sir.
You bet. You guys have a good day.
Thank you. Any other officials this morning? None getting up. We can, at this point in time, we can move on to the public. The public can come forward if they wish to give a comment or two within their 3-minute time limit.
You looking at me?
A little bit.
Well, I work.
Morning, Willard.
Hi,
Hi.
Willard Peterson, 514 Road 13. My address is York, but I'm a resident of Bradshaw, and I'm pretty proud of that. Well, when I was going to talk this morning anyway a little, but I saw these young people come in, and I think it's very important for them to understand that during a public comment or listening to what you guys do is extremely important. Now, when you're younger, you may not think so much, but as you get older, it may be. And the thing that I've noticed all along in my years of coming to commissioner meetings and talking to people is a lot of people, for some reason, are a little bit afraid of you guys-ish. Afraid with quotes. Like, oh, not so much that you're grumpy, even though you are, but just the idea that you're on an official board and that's really important, or that you're really important, and you are, sort of, and like that. But I'd like you young people to know that they are a citizen and they do have the right to speak, and they can speak their mind. And I think that's, anyway, okay, that's enough. That's enough. I was a 6th grade teacher for 40 years. That's why I like you guys most of the time. Anyway, okay. Now, the other thoughts I've had was thinking of this whole recall business and so forth. And I know that's off a ways, but now that it seemed to have come out, or at least what I've been able to glean out of it, this recall was basically over one thing, one time. And to me, that's a little bit scary. And actually, I'm a little bit scared for you guys. So I'm just going to say it. Watch how you vote, because it only takes one time and one person or whatever. And I'm a little concerned because it could start a whole deal, and then the county doesn't get anything done, or nobody gets anything done. Can I go now?
Thank you, Willard.
You're welcome.
Anybody else from the public this morning? Seeing nobody else get up, we do have some students with us. Not to put you on the spot, where are you guys from? York? Government class? Okay, welcome this morning. Hopefully you can stay throughout this long meeting we have today. Okay, we do have a general assistance, but rather than kicking everybody out right away this morning, let's put it off and take care of it towards the end and keep moving down the agenda. Review and approve the payroll and vendor claims that we have in front of us. Was there any questions anybody had on those?
On data processing, the maintenance licensing agreement, that is a nice sized one. Is that
Novo.
once a year? Or every 6
looking
months?
at
Or?
the
Yeah,
Novo.
Novo.
So Novo is a new software for the roads department. So it will be basically the costing and accounting for the roads, whether it be road G from from 1 to 2 or road H from road 20 to 21. And so Ashley puts in there, when we haul gravel, if we put in a new box culvert, how much that costs. So basically, we can keep track of how much each road and each asset in the roads department is costing. The program that they were using was sunset. It's no longer being supported. So this one will be the replacement. 5,000 of that is ongoing, a yearly maintenance. 3,000 was the assistance to get it up and running and train us on them.
Cool.
More than you've ever reported.
Well, I knew it was. I thought everybody should know. Thanks.
Any other questions on vendor claims, guys?
Move to approve payroll and vendor claims.
Thank you, Andy.
Second.
Thank you, Leroy. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Odd,
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. There is no funding transfers, as you can see by the fee reports. We came out of August with second half collections. Obviously, these generals and everything are sitting pretty good. We have a couple funds that we just have to be very precise on over the next while they build back up, but we should be pretty healthy as of right now. So there are no transfers needed other than the allocations that we will set up here directly. Next up, we're going to talk insurance a little bit this morning with Judd and Mike are here from NACO Benefit Services, and we'll have you come forward, introduce yourself, guys, and kind of give us a little bit of information that you have.
I'll start. I've got a couple things to hand out.
Yeah, hand them out or
Okay.
start on an end and we can come across. And then the microphones, if you could kind of pull them to you so everybody can hear, that would be great.
Well, thank you for your time on the agenda today. My name is Mike Bowden. I'm with NACO Benefit Services, and Judd is also with NACO Benefit Services, Judd Allen. And we, as from the NACO standpoint, we're an organization that's really here to support counties in whatever fashion that we can. One of the things we've done since 1980 is ran a health insurance pool. That health insurance and this is for employee benefits for county employees, that over the years that's grown to now we've got really about anything that a county needs to support employee benefits. We've got it in our one way or another, and some of it's outlined on this one-page sheet. I've been with NACO, well, I've been around NACO for, 25 or 30 years, but as an employee of NACO for about going on 6 years now. And it's shame on me, I've never been in front of the York County Board, so I apologize for that. And part of the reason is that you've got benefits in place and apparently things are working fine, or we would have been notified sooner. But periodically, we would like to just make sure if you need anything, we're here to support you. We can bid out not only in the NACO health insurance pool, that's through Blue Cross and Blue Shield, but we can bid other vendors, other carriers, and you may have somebody that you're working with that's doing a great job. They don't have access to the NACO benefit pool. It's a proprietary program for NACO itself. If you're interested, we'd love to show you what the cost of that would be. If it makes sense, that's great. If it doesn't, at least that you're in a good spot. So along with that, we bundle up life insurance, dental insurance, disability insurance, and about anything that you would want or need, we can kind of put it together and bring it forward. We do have a couple programs that you're probably not going to hear about from, the traditional commercial broker. And again, we act kind of like a broker, but it doesn't, Judd and I don't make any more money if we sell anything. So we're here really to support counties. We've got several programs that are kind of designed that same way. One of them is called Cash in Lieu. That Cash in Lieu, in a nutshell, it says if a person has access to other health insurance coverage in another place, there can be a stipend for that member. So a lot of the counties we work with will pay 100% single coverage, for example, and that might be $1,900, $1,000, something like that. If the employee, if they're not paying anything, they may be on their spouse's plan, and you're paying for them to be on the plan too, so they're double covered. And a lot of times that's not real beneficial for the member. The cash in lieu would give you an opportunity to say, if you've got other coverage somewhere else, we'll give you, you can determine the amount somewhere. Counties use it between $350 and up to $1,000 a month as a cash stipend. So it's a way, some counties use it as a recruitment tool and retention tool to, if you can, instead of paying for the health insurance that they might not really need, they could put another, if it's $500 a month, put another $6,000 a year in an employee's pocket. Just kind of helps stretch your budget that's designed for supporting employees and compensating employees. So that's one of the programs. There's another program that we piggyback with the National Association of County Officials on several things, but one of them is a new one that we rolled out last year. It's a company called Sept, and what they do is help people with student loans. There's more and more people that are coming into the workforce with student loans of one sort or another. This doesn't pay their loan, but what it does is help them qualify for, whatever they may be eligible to. Sometimes it's income-driven student loan. Sometimes in public sector, and this is the thing that we really focus on, public sector student loan. This is something that's been in place back since 2007. After 120 payments as a public servant, if you're a public servant, you make 120 payments toward your student loans, whatever's left at the end of that is forgiven. And that's like, again, it's not one of these new things that you see in the news and the headlines. This has been around for quite a while. And probably the biggest reason people don't participate in that is because it's so hard to get the paperwork submitted properly to the federal government or wherever you need to submit it to. Savvy's a company that walks beside the person and helps them make sure they get everything filed and submitted correctly. And that's, by the way, that's available to you right now at no cost. So if you're interested in that, it used to be bundled with our health insurance plan, but we've opened that up recently to anybody that were, NACO groups. So that's available. Again, we got the life insurance, the dental insurance, the vision insurance, and we'd love to give you a proposal on that if it makes sense for you. It's not a heavy lift to get a proposal. It's usually just a census and then some information on what your current plan looks like, so we can make sure we're matching apples to apples. And then we can bring you back numbers. And if it makes sense, great. If it doesn't, like I say, at least you've done your due diligence and checking on that. So I don't know, Jed, if there's anything.
No, I just did, like Mike says, that quote, we can turn it around pretty quick. So I think your guys' renewal is coming up here in January, and
Yeah.
you'll probably see your renewal rate from your broker. And, if they scare you, you're more than welcome to give us a call, and we can turn it around pretty quick. But if they're good, and you just drive on, like Mike said, then fine with that, so.
Yeah, it has been a while since, and in fact, I think the last time you were here, we was meeting as a board up in the courtrooms,
Yes.
while this was under construction, so that has been a few years ago. The pool, as you being a broker, and you're talking on your sheet here, I see United, Aetna, Medica, but the pool it's blue, isn't it?
Right.
Blue Cross Blue Shield. And in the past with Blue Cross Blue Shield, the county we haven't looked good to them. In fact, they haven't quoted us the last couple of years just because we don't look good. How do you handle that in the pool?
So there's the underwriting with, well, every insurance company is interesting in its own way, but Blue Cross is really interesting when you say they haven't quoted you. More than likely, you've requested what they call a chamber choice quote, and that's a level funded program. And on the level funded programs, Blue Cross will, some groups they'll just decline. Maybe that's what's happened to you too, and that's based on your claims experience. The pool is different. The pool, we've got about 5,000 members in the pool all across the state. So when they look at that, it's a fully insured program still, but all the experience gets blended to some degree. And the thing that a lot of counties like about it is the way the rates are set up, they're stabilized. So even if a group deserves a 50% renewal increase. The rules of the pool say you can get no more than 2 tiers in any 1 year, and a tier is 5% increase. So if the normal renewal is 4%, which is about what the average has been over the last 20 years, if the renewal for the whole group is 4%, even a group that has terrible experience would get 2 5% increments plus the 4%, so there'd be a 14% cap in that case. A lot of groups, especially if you're over 50 employees, you're at the mercy of the marketplace. So you could get one. We dealt with a group a couple years ago, had a 75% increase, and there's nothing they can do about it. No other companies would bid on them. So this prevents you from being in that situation. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're having good experience, you can go down 2 tiers as well. So it kind of gives you an opportunity to benefit from those years when your group is healthy, and then gives you some protections in those years when your group is not healthy. So it's kind of unique. The other thing about the pool is it's been around, like I said, since 1980, and it's governed by your peers. There's a NACO board is the one that makes the final decision on what the plans look like, how we set the rates. There is what they call an RSR, a reserve fund. So if we have a year where we collect more premium than we need, it goes into a reserve fund that can be used to offset future increases. It can be used in other ways as well. But so it's really worked well for a lot of counties. It's not always the right answer, so that's why we shop outside of the pool as well. Sometimes it might be Medica, it might be United Healthcare, there might be other groups other vendors that might be more competitive just based on, it could be by zip code. Maybe United Healthcare has fantastic discounts and rates here in York. Maybe they don't in someplace else. So they may be more competitive here right now. We placed a group not long ago in Northeast Nebraska with United Healthcare for that very reason. So looking at the whole market is, it's probably a good idea to do occasionally. The pool can provide some security that you can't get outside of the pool. And within the pool, by the way, that's made up of, what is there, like 59 counties that are in there. And then we have 5 or 6 county-owned hospitals, a lot of the area offices on aging, health departments.
Yeah, Four Corners, Health
Four
Department down the
Corners,
road, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't, if you're a grocery store or a gas station, you're not going to qualify. We would never, it wouldn't fit our charter. But if you're a public entity and you're governed somewhat by county officials, or you're supported by county money through the county coffers, then by our charter, that would make you eligible. Municipalities are no longer eligible. So it is a unique group, and it's a similar group. You're not lumped in with a lot of different industries. So it's worked well over the years.
When you say you have, of the 93 counties, you have 50 plus of them, are the majority of those counties 50 employees or less, or do you have a range? Because where we're sitting right now, we're over 100, and it seems like that affects it.
Yeah. We have, like Douglas and Sarpy and Lancaster, they're really not targets for our pool just because there's the size of the groups. But we like Madison and Adams and Lincoln, so we do have some bigger counties. And then Arthur County, So it's a wide range.
Okay.
But there's a lot of groups that are right at that 50 employee, somewhere between, depending on the time of year, somewhere between 45 and 55 employees. So we have kind of quite a few of them in that range, but
okay.
Really different, all different sizes. And it's interesting, like Arthur County, for example, they've got less than 500 people in the county. Get, I don't know, 12 employees, something like that. So they get 1 or 2 people on the plan, but that means that the clerk wears a lot of hats, and a lot of times they need a lot of help because there's no way they can do all of that stuff. So different groups, we are especially Judd, he's out on site quite often. If they need help with employee meetings or just, how do I point this person in the right direction? What do I do? There's, we're kind of set up to help that way. And then on the NACO pool, we do have 2 dedicated account executives at Blue Cross that if there is a problem, we really, people should go to member services to begin with the number on the back of their card because they can get all their information that they need. But a lot of times you can't get that problem solved. People can come to us. We can go to our Blue Cross account executives. So we've got kind of a pipeline to help us service county employees probably better than what we do if we don't have. We do have some groups that are with Blue Cross that are not in the pool, and it's a different type of service level. So and something I didn't really, I kind of took it for granted, I guess, that service level until we started placing business outside of the pool with Blue Cross, and I realized we got a pretty good deal with our pool groups.
Any questions from the board this morning? So, I have no problem, and, I also said on the insurance committee, with somebody else wanting to bid this, that shouldn't be a problem. We're set up in the EASE network, and those censuses should be pretty easy to pull. We do and have been with a local agent for several years now, and they partner with OCI out of Omaha. And so if there's any questions and stuff that the local agents can't have, we have direct access to OCI, and it seems to have worked. We do know that after budgeting this year, and Daniel sits on the budget committee, we're budgeting about $1.25 million in insurance, and we got to start figuring out some creative ways to do something, and this last year we came up with some more HSAs to lower some costs and get some more people in and just trying to network with others, figuring out what we can do. I've had some conversations with our local agent, and some of the numbers that he has seen aren't the most nice looking coming down the pipe. So I'm not sure what we'll do, but we can meet after this, or I can have you meet with Cheryl in the clerk's office and figure out what information you guys need, and that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we could start with the insurance committee, kind of a little informal setting and kick some ideas around.
Okay. We typically like to know by into November. The way we do our billing here for our employees, we take out the January rates into December payroll. So we like to have everything set, open enrollment done prior to when we start taking out in December for the January rates. So it seems to get kind of crushed into that little bit of time period, but so.
Yeah, that's similar to most renew in July for the pool. But we do have several groups. In fact, we're just working with Washington County. They're in that same time frame. They want to get everything done prior to their payroll deductions. So, familiar with all.
Okay. So anything else then from the board at this time? Do you want to set up a meeting with the insurance committee, or do you want to kind of visit with Cheryl just a little bit about possible census or something like that?
Yeah, I can
while
talk-
you're here today?
Yeah, I could talk with Cheryl and get her contact information and figure out when it's a good time for your insurance committee to get together.
Okay.
So,
She is
right
next door
Right next door.
in the back.
We got some homework for you, Cheryl.
She's actually
Surprise.
listening. She's obviously listening, or she always seems to be listening. Okay. Anything else then, guys?
No.
Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thanks for your
Yeah,
time.
thanks a lot.
Okay, next up, discuss and act on resolution outlining our distributions of transfers to area on aging, to emergency management fund, and to the road fund. You should have had those. Mary worked through these, and you'll see that the money, we continually obviously give money prior to the budget set, and that is recorded in there. And then, like on the emergency manager, the 911, the call center, we actually, our last payment to them usually is in June, so then we just distribute that evenly across the remainder of the months. Highway Department gets money at the old rate until we set the new rate. So all those should be in front of you. Any questions? The math was checked, double checked, and I think even triple checked.
You triple check it. Quadruple check.
Move to approve, adopt a resolution to outline distributions of transfer monies to Area on Aging, 911 Emergency Management Fund, and the rest fund.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Groats.
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, next up is something we've been doing for years with WJE, this Wesley Ellers out west. It has to do with the child support services, county attorney's office, the district court turns in data, and then Mr. Ellers comes in and he looks through the data, and it's on the collections of those, and he does the paperwork, and then he gets paid a fee off of what those collections are. It's something that we need to do, and it has been something that we've been signing, but we had not brought this in front of the board now for, Mary could not find it for a few years. So thought it was a good idea to get it back in front of the board again, just to show that this is something that we do. It has to do with child support. It's not a budgeted amount. It's an amount that comes in from the child support services.
Is
So-
this something that's going to be changing with the way the state's pulling back child support?
The data will change, the fee will change, but it will not change on an allocation. As far as for Mr. Ellers, he gets paid on what is collected. So yeah, if the state's pulling that back, it's going to be, he'll come in, they still have to do the quarterly, data until they don't do it anymore. And at that point in
So
time,
it's still land once the state.
yeah, because this, as you've seen, is through, I believe, last year, through June 30th, 2024.
Gotcha.
So we'll do it, yeah, and I'm not sure where we go after that.
I agree.
It may not be anything next year. Yeah.
So this is just permission for the chair to sign that report and get it back to him.
Okay.
Motion to approve chairman's signature on WJE Consulting countywide cost allocation plan.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Groats,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Next up, we actually have a couple different things that the assessor asked to have on the agenda. And these are a maintenance agreement and then a reappraisal agreement with Vanguard for commercial property. Kurt, do you want to speak to these at all? Go ahead. I'll let you sit down. What maintenance agreement?
Kurt Bulgren, York County Assessor. Take it up the maintenance agreement first.
Please.
That is just an annual agreement that we have with Vanguard to help us out with any of our commercial properties that we feel we need some assistance with and getting the correct value on those. So those would be, and it's basically new permits, building permits that they come out and check. So, and this is something Reed Kinney, he's at Vanguard. He thought I could just sign, but I feel like any agreement that is entered into by the county needs to be approved by the board.
Well, that was going to be my question, why you were, the only thing I could think of, Kurt, is because we paid out a reappraisal, which you don't, we have control of the reappraisal.
Right.
Obviously the assessor does not.
Right. And it's
So-
an agreement. And I think, what I understand in statute, the county board chair signs off on all agreements.
So as far as Vanguard is concerned, do we feel like, because obviously there's not a ton of people that supply these services that you assessors need. Do we feel like that's been working out pretty good?
Yeah, they did some last year for us, and it's really handy. They take our data, they export our files to, guy came out from Iowa, he went back to Iowa, exported our files, worked on those files, put notes in the program for us where we need to put them. So it's with our old appraiser, the first year I came in, we had a commercial reappraisal done, and people were coming to me wanting to know why their commercial values went up, and all I had was a sheet of paper with numbers on it. No notes as to what changes took place, how they got to those numbers, and it was really frustrating. Vanguard, they take the time to put the notes in, where they got to those values, how they got there, why they got there. And so when taxpayers do call me, then I can at least explain to them what the situation is.
And this is strictly on commercial.
This is just strictly on commercial, yes.
So then I know that we're not talking about it, but we're going to just a little bit with this commercial reappraisal that we're going to discuss next. That's going to be redoing the commercial throughout the county over the next.
Over a course of a couple of years, 2 or 3 years.
Okay. And this is what we talked about during budgeting.
Okay.
Yeah, right. What you proposed during budgeting.
Yeah.
And so these two kind of work together then. I mean, same person, same Vanguard.
Same company, same costing manual. Yep.
So as we're doing the reappraisal for the commercial, there probably isn't going to be a whole lot of like individual commercial places like the maintenance agreement. Do you see it being used very much if we're going to be doing a commercial reappraisal?
Not too much. That commercial reappraisal is going to be done. They're not going to start that until 2026. So this is going to cover anything that's been done, any projects or building permits that were filed this year.
Up to then.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's been actively worked on.
Okay. Any questions for Kurt, gentlemen?
Kind of in hand, I guess, with both of them. It's more directed towards the next one, but I think it maybe ties in here with this one as well. The maintenance agreement, we utilized them last year, you said, or we have in the past anyway.
Last year was the first year we utilized them.
And this is on, I mean, properties where I think my question was gonna be, do we have anybody that can do this? But you're like in-house, your comment, I think, answered my question in that these are on the ones that are maybe a little bit outside the expertise of what we have in-house.
Like your ethanol plants, your Clutie manufacturing that are just really big, successful businesses that, they got a lot going on that most county assessors aren't going to be able to
Right.
keep track of all that.
Yep.
So that's why we bring in the trained professionals, the
Yep.
appraisers to do that.
Okay. And so then, I think that answers this. Because they're tied together, I'll ask this question for the next one. Did we had the previous appraiser. Did we do any cost, shopping? Did we price anybody else other than just Vanguard?
No, I didn't, and primarily for the reason that their appraisers at Vanguard, they use the same costing manual that we do. They can get in the system, they put in their notes. To me, it just made sense to use them. And they added some more appraisers to their staff, and they contacted me, want to know if, because we were looking to get them, it was going to be at first like 2029 before I was going to get them out here to be able to do anything, which is going to push me out of my 6-year review cycle. But then they added some more appraisers, and they called and said, hey, we can get you in now if you would like to. So that's kind of why I'm bringing this here to you today. So,
do you know, and I was gonna look this up and I didn't have time, how it compares? I mean, obviously everything has gone up, but their bid, and maybe I'm getting it too much into the weeds, and we can talk about this after we get this one approved, but their bid compared to what we were paying the old appraiser, is it close? Is it quite a bit higher?
it was a little bit higher, and I can get those numbers for you. I don't know off the top of my head, but that was also, the other one was done in 2022. So
Right.
that was that many years ago.
Exactly. Yep.
And I think we get a little bit more with Vanguard than we did the other one.
Right.
And also with this Vanguard one too, they go in there, they do all that work, they set it up, they get all of our commercial fixed. And then I don't foresee us needing to do another big contract like that with them. Because they've already done the footwork on it.
Right.
Already. So after that, it's just maintaining. If they have a addition, if they're adding on to their factory or their business, then we revert back to the annual maintenance agreement, or we try to tackle that in-house. So
Kurt, you referenced the manual a few times. Is there a new manual coming out? Is there one out?
it's just that 2020 manual is the one that's,
When are we looking to maybe get a new manual out?
that I'm not sure. What we can do in our system is we can change our manual factor, our manual level, excuse me. So if we're looking like our costing needs to come up, we can adjust the manual level. So right now our manual level is at 130. So we can increase that, or if the market shows we need to decrease it, we can decrease it too.
Well, I guess
And that's,
the question leads back to 2020 COVID. A lot of the material costs and stuff was sky high during that time, and I think that's where we got a lot of pushback from people. And hey, you're using a manual from the economic time was probably the worst we've seen in decades.
well, and I don't think they created that manual in 2020 because it takes time to figure out all this different costing. I can get back to you on that, Andy, let you know what their time frame was on that. I don't know if it just came out in 2020 and that's why they call it that. But yeah, let me get back to you on that one, find out for you.
Okay, any other questions?
Do we, do we know, and I guess I'll hold my questions. Let's go ahead and get where I'm going is on the next one, on the commercial reappraisal. Do we know of total cost? I was looking here, the cost on the agreement seems to be quite a bit less than what we were looking at, or am I reading something wrong?
Right, just so you're aware, this agreement, do you want to do the maintenance agreement first before we get?
Right, we can do that.
Move to approve annual maintenance agreement with Vanguard.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion or questions regarding the maintenance agreement? Mary, when you're ready.
Bowman,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Odd,
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yeah.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay,
To answer your question on that, so this maintenance agreement just covers the York commercial, it doesn't cover all of the commercial.
Okay,
And the way we had to do it, the reason we had to do that is these agreements can only be for like a 2-year period. You can only go out so far in the future. And that's based on state law. So whatever when an assessor brings these kind of agreements to the board approves it, and then I have to send it to the property tax administrator for their approval. And so then she makes sure all the boxes are checked. One of those rules is it can't be for over 2 years out. So that's why you see it's lower than what I had initially requested. So the plan is to do the York commercial first, because they always start with the bigger commercial section of the county, or whatever you want to call it, sector. And so then we'll do that, and then the following years they'll do the small villages and the rural commercial.
So, Daniel, is your question coming? Because I'm looking at the reappraisal agreement. It says 200 parcels at 380 each that are commercial and multifamily improved, and then industrial improved, and the commercial, multifamily, and industrial.
Yep.
That's the figure that, yeah, I'm with you. That cost is a lot lower. So is that
Because this is just the York commercial.
right?
Right.
So is that going to be the total cost on the commercial reappraisal?
Per parcel.
Here it looks like he said it's approximately going to be $99,850.
Yeah, so that number's correct. Right? Okay, gotcha.
And that was a letter I received from them dated August 28th.
What was the budgeted number though?
well, the total overall cost, I think in what we budgeted, I think was like 150 or something for
budgeted half.
this year.
Half of what was put in
But
front
the
of us.
total reappraisal, I think, was estimated to be like 295 or
Right.
300, somewhere in there.
And I had asked for that because of the way our budget season works. We start that in the spring already.
Yep.
A lot of this agreement stuff I was hoping to be on their list to get it all done at once, but they were, just the way that everything fell, we couldn't get an agreement approved until we had a budget approved. I didn't feel like, so that's why they said, well, we'll just do York first. We can get York done first, and then the following years get the rest of them done. Right. So that's why I requested so much initially, so.
So we will see more before
Absolutely.
we're all,
Yeah,
Before all of it,
This isn't done, this is
No.
just yours.
this is just the York commercial, yeah, City of York.
so I'm fine with all of that. The one thing that I personally, I'm a shopper. I need to know that I'm getting the best deal, I guess. So I'm a little hesitant, in that, just in bidding one place. I get what you've said in that, this is giving us a lot more than what our old appraiser was giving, and it works hand in hand with our system that we have. So that's all good. I do, just in my own personal, when I'm doing something, especially in this big of a number, I like to go out and check a couple places just to make sure that I'm getting the best deal for my buck.
Are we statutorily bound to bid this? It's over that $75,000.
Not for professional services.
It's not for professional. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then timeframe too, if we were to start to bid this out to other companies, I don't know what their availability should even be. Right. Because these guys barely could get just York in this year, and everyone, the guy that used to do it, he's kind of, maybe, I don't want to say slowing down, but there's, people are using a lot of the other companies, and there's not a lot of them to begin with anyways, so getting on their list, I'm afraid I'd get thrown out of my 6-year inspection cycle, which would be good. We want to keep everything equalized.
Okay, everything get answered, kicked around? Once again, this is just the first piece of it.
Yep.
This here, and it is budgeted for the year, to cover this piece of it at least, and then we'll just have to do our due diligence to see what the budget is for next year and how we have to add to what's gonna be obviously left over.
Right.
And go from there. Any other questions? Entertain a motion if there is one.
Move to approve the commercial reappraisal agreement with Vanguard.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
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 Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Kurt. You'll be back at 9:30, I assume?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
At this point in time, we're almost to the end of our agenda. We do have a new item on there, but I do think we can take care of the general assistance that we need to do prior to the Board of Equalization. So I would entertain a motion to go into executive session at 9:20.
So moved.
To prevent the needless harm and injury to any individual.
So moved.
Do you want to list who's gonna join us?
Sure.
Oh,
The
with
board
the board and county attorney.
and Mary.
And
Mary is the general assistance person right now.
She was already here. I'm sorry, I left you.
She's not part of the board though.
I know.
Second.
All right, thank you. Got a motion and a second to go into executive session at 9:20 to prevent the needless harm and injury to any individual. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Groves,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Obermeyer.
Yes.
All right, I will end the stream for this section.